All right, it's time. It's Strixhaven time. But first, I just want to show you that I won the game again. I got 3 750s. Uh, so yeah, still flying blind here without a tier list. Oh, here we go. Oh gosh, still. Hmm, what is it? It's not quite nervous. It's a little bit nervous. So Archmage Emeritus is really good. Anytime you cast or copy an instant sorcery spell, you just draw a card. Amazing. Abundant Harvest is for people who love to gamble with dirt. Um, Eye Twitch is okay. Mage Hunter's okay. Bookworm is a nice thing for like Quandrix. Yeah, it's in some nice cards here, but I think Archmage Emeritus is just the best. So either Quandrix for him or um, Prismari. Can't really splash him, he's double blue. It would be difficult, I should clarify. This Secret Rendezvous is terrible. Strategic planning. Still don't think that's good. Hall monitor looks terrible. Start from scratch. Meh. Enthusiastic study could be Prismari. Frost Trickster I think is good. Blood Researcher I think is also good. Um, Arcane Subtraction might be good because it's a learn thing. It's an instant. It's a combat trick. But yeah, I think it's like Frost Trickster, Blood Researcher, maybe Arcane Subtraction. I think Frost Trickster is the pick here. And we'll just stay in blue until otherwise. Okay, so I do like a Bookworm for Quandrix. Quandrix has some ramp stuff, so like the 8 mana cost isn't, you know, that bad. Let's see what else is in here. I feel like this elocution's kind of good, maybe. Vortex Runner is in blue, but I just don't see it as being. I'd play it, but I wouldn't be happy about picking it here. Third pick. I think the other pick is Needlethorn Drake, but look, I'm going off of the very few drafts I've seen so far, and Ben Stark drafted this Bookworm. Therefore, I mean, Bookworm must be amazing. Obviously not. Oh, okay. So we have the Soothsayer Adept in blue, but Emergent Sequence is one of those ramp cards that I was talking about. Mage Duel is also a card that I would love to put in the deck. These black cards are, there's a lot, I mean, Mage Hunter's Onslaught is also good, but I think I have to take the Emergent Sequence over the Mage Duel. It just puts out, you're able to ramp a land that's also a creature. It makes the land more vulnerable. It's one of the things that it does, because now it also can be targeted by things that destroy creatures. But I think that Emergent Sequence is just a bit too good. So Rutha is good as well if we actually go to Prismaria. It's interesting seeing her here. I don't know if I should select her or, let's see, Resculpt isn't very good. It's either her or Fractal Summoning, right? Gosh. I think I'm gonna bet, oh, oh wow, what? Is this card good? This card's not good, right? I mean, it's pick 6. It's a land put in your hand, otherwise put a study counter on it. Create a fractal, put a 1/1 counter on it for each different mana value among you in exile. Okay. Oh, and then you can just keep doing that. You can basically keep making 5 mana whatevers. Eh. Otherwise, she's a 3 mana 2/2. Let's see. This guy's a 4 mana 3/3 with flying. Exile the top X cards of your library and put a study counter in each of them. Then you may put a card you own in exile with a study counter on it into your hand. I'm gonna take him. These deans. We'll see. We'll see. I think. Ooh, field trip or pop quiz. I think both of these are pretty decent. So field trip plays into ramp. It puts it onto the battlefield, although it has to be a forest. Pop quiz is also good. If I want to go green, and I do want to, I have seen more. Yeah, I think I do want this field trip. Suddenly everything's dried up. um, wow, Mage Hunter's Onslaught is here and pick 8. Do people not understand that this is removal? I mean, would I put Letter of Acceptance? Maybe. It is ramp, and then it also draws me a card later. Like, is this just an anomaly here? It might just be an anomaly. I could speculate on fixing here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I just want to snap up 2 drops when I can. It also makes use of ramp in the late game, and apparently people already really know Strixhaven, and they are just picking these cards with reckless abandon. So none of these are any good. If I go black, maybe. If I go red, I think it might be more likely. Rejector Vortex Runner. Let's go for reject. Is this card terrible? I don't understand. How is removal terrible? Again, I'm going to stick to what I want. I mean, I'll take a Mercurial Transformation. It'll be in my sideboard, so whatever. Dragon's Approach is terrible. Okay, sure, second Mercurial Transformation. Oh, Radiance Scroll Wielder is really good, but nowhere near any of the colors I'm in. Expressive Iteration is another good card. Oh, but there's a Quandrix Cultivator here, which again is something that puts lands from my library onto the battlefield, which again is like something I really want. Heated Debate is nice. Return Pass Color is nice. Needlethorn Drake is. I mean, this is more than nice. This is good. 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 This card's nice. This card's nice. There's a lot of this pack is stacked. Essentially, what I'm trying to say. Okay. As opposed to the previous pack, I suddenly find myself hating this one. Reflective Golem, that's not really something Quandrix does. You find that more in Lorehold, having things that target, and Silver Quill, things that target your own creatures. Well, I say that, and there's a big play right here. Oh, there's an introduction to Prophecy, though. That's actually going to be... I'm not excited about picking a lesson here, but at the same time, that'll probably be the lesson that we typically get with Field Trip, for example, rather than a Mercurial Transformation. Gosh, really? Alright. I don't think Genius Mastery is very good. Oh, Kelpie Guide is good, though. Again, Kelpie Guide is more ramp. It untaps lands you control, and then it can tap opponent stuff once I do get enough lands. I was watching the first the first stream draft for Scotty Knott. I think he said Snoke Day was a nice card. Quandrix Campus is also something I'd like to pick up. But yeah, I think this is just Kelpie Guide. Like, I just don't think Ingenious Mastery is good. Symmetry Sage is just fancy. Leyline Invocation could be good. There's Pest Summoning as well. That's it's a nice one. Vortex Runner is okay. I just don't see how this card is good. I only have one learn so far. This is where I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Invocation as just kind of another as just kind of another good thing. Or as another curve topper. So I think Professor of Zoomancy is nice. It's good. In terms of 2-drops, I have like 3-ish. Scurrid Colony is pretty good, but I think I'm just going to take this Professor. It's either I'm not really splashing for anything. I could take it in case I need to I want to splash for something. This Campus Guide. I could also take Arcane Subtraction. Or I could take the Bayou Groff. I think people are too high on that card. Yeah, it's a 2-mana 5/4, but you need something in play in order to do it. And if you're casting it on turn 4, I don't know. Cram Session probably won't be useful. There's another Intro to Prophecy. Sure. I'll take another Intro to Prophecy. I don't think Cram Session's very good outside of the Golgari College, whatever it is. Witherbloom, because Witherbloom has all of the life gain synergy stuff. Pick 8. It's Expanded Anatomy or Symmetry Sage. I'm just going to take the Anatomy. I'll take the Needlethorn Drake. Yeah. Yeah. Here, none of these. Like, Square Up is good with your, say, fractals, right? But only if you have a lot of fractals. Okay, this one's pretty easy pick there. I guess charge through, sure, whatever. Burying Books, yeah. I like Burying Books. There's quite a few. Wow. How's Dueling Coach here? I thought Dueling Coach was good. I'll just take Plum the Forbidden. They're not good, but nice. Okay. If you get that +1/+1 counter synergies going on with Silver Quill, where you have those creatures that are like, hey, when I die, move my counters to another creature. That can be really good. Is he wearing glasses or no? Huh. Silver Quill Apprentice. Sounds like there's a lack of Silver Quill. Oh, interesting. That rare's pretty good. Oh, and that's pretty good. We do have a Eureka moment here. Otherwise, it would be, say, Environmental Sciences. I think Environmental Sciences would be nice to pick up. But, there's definitely someone else in Quandrix at this table. But I don't think there's 3 people, for example. I think there's only 1 person in Silver Quill, though. I think I'll pick this Eureka moment. Oh, Biomathematician. Do I have other fractals? I think this makes a fractal. Oh, I have the professor that makes fractals. That's right. Oh, wow. Cool. Forgot about her. Yeah, is there a bounce spell? What? Variant books? Targets attacking yeah, this bounces kind of. Otherwise, it would be the Soothsayer Depth. No, I think it's just Biomathematician. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. Tendrils, Pledge Mage, Biomathematician. Like, Biomathematicians get better the more you have of them. Quandrix Pledge Mages, I think, are good. The Devouring Tendrils is just, uh, kill things. Removal. I'd like to pick up all three of them and then just call it a draft. I think, let's see. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know enough to say whether that was good or not. I don't want any of these. I'm just going to take this Prismari Campus just in case I see something in red I really want to splash. Maybe Rutha? I don't know. I don't think that's worth it. I don't know how good Rutha is. Another emergent sequence. Yeah, definitely. Overgrown Arch. Scotty Nato was saying this was good, but I think it's only good in like. I have to see more to be convinced. I think I'd rather take the Needlethorn Drake. I think this is really good in like Witherbloom, but unless you have that life gain synergy, I don't really see it. None of these. None of these at all. I'll take the cram session. Who knows, maybe. Oh wow, she's wheeled pick 8. What? That means the person on my left opened her. Or, yeah. How is a person named I Am Groot not playing Quandrix? I'll take the Befuddler. Now, this is a good card. Hunt for Specimens is a nice card. Oh, Reduced to Memory. That was an all-star in my previous draft. Getting rid of those somehow for some reason everyone had those ridiculous enchantments or artifacts. All right, so Pest Summoning versus Soothsayer Adept. I feel like it is the Pest Summoning. I'd only have 2 learn cards, so it's not like the best here. I have a lot of lessons, but not a lot of learning. Oh my gosh, the Biomathematician frickin' wheeled. That is amazing. So I think these Biomathematicians and this Dean that makes fractals, I think that's actually good, because the Biomathematicians put a +1/+1 counter each fractal. Fractal. I can say that word. I will take the uncommon, I guess. Each fractal you control. And my 2 emergent sequences also create fractals. Sure, I'll take a Dragon's Approach, just so that someone else can maybe have a good card. I'm really disappointed I didn't pick up any Quandrix stuff or fixing or anything like that. Like Quandrix, I'm sorry, the Quandrix campus. This card is just bad. Okay. So yeah, my colors seem to be open. Um, but who knows, you know? It's early days. Maybe all of these are terrible. I mean, some of them are terrible. Charge through. I'm going to keep Arcane Subtraction because it is a learn. Lessons go on the sideboard. I'm going to put Cram Session over here because, let's see, square up, like, I have fractals. And it's actually a really interesting combat trick with fractals because there's 0/0s that become, yeah. Vortex Runner could get cut. Field Trip's a learn, so I really want to keep that. That's a lesson. That's a lesson, that's a lesson, that's a lesson. This could get cut. I'm more interested in having actual lands out than I am anything else, just for Leyline Invocation and triggering Zamone's draw ability. Okay, so how much learning do I have? Learn 2. I really don't want this cram session. It might be wrong to get rid of it, but I'm going to get rid of it, I think. I have 17 creatures. I have to make 5 cuts. Can I be 16 lands with this much like emergent sequencing? Kian could get me more lands. Potentially Kelpie Guide's kind of a ramp. Field Trip. Eureka Moment, Quandrix Cultivator. I don't know. I'm going to ditch the Vortex Runner. I do wonder how much fractals I have exactly. Okay, so I have 5 fractal sources. Okay. What else do I cut? I like Needlethorn Drakes because I have no removal. I kind of have to rely on like other things. Yeah, I wonder which side is better. I feel like in this deck, Kian is is better. Even though I hate the idea of having cards and exiling my own cards out of my own deck. But, you know, whatever, I guess. I might get rid of the Befuddler. Let's see, I'm going to cut a Letter of Acceptance. Yeah. I think I'll cut Square Up. Gosh. It is a good combat trick, right? What are my lessons here? Pest summoning, mercurial transformation. So like the only way that mercurial transformation is actually good is if since it's sorcery speed, the way you use it is like if one of your like you attack with like a 1/1 and then they block with their 5/5 or whatever, and their 5/5 takes 1 damage. Then on your second main you learn, and then you get transformation and you turn that 5/5 into a 1/1, and since the damage stays, it dies. It's pretty much the best way, I think, of using this. Although it can be used with fractals. It basically gives fractals +4/+4, similar to Square Up. But yeah, probably the one that I'm going to be using the most is like Intro to Prophecy, maybe Pest Summoning to just get chump blockers out. I don't have a lot of learning. Again, I'm not going to put it in cram session though, because I think that's dumb. So yeah, I was saying I could cut this Befuddler. Like I have 5 creatures, and then these are also mixed creatures on 2, so it's like 7 2-drops. Even Reject could be used on turn 2, just to prevent someone from gaining advantage on me in the early game. How did this card go almost all the way around? I think the more I look at it, the better I think this card is. Like I think the green side is the side that's good, because like Dean of Theory gives you card selection, but uh, like you can pay X equals 0, but you still have to pay double blue and tap them to get that card out of exile into your hand. So like at most you can draw you a card per turn. The Dean of Can like eventually you can create 2 fractals a turn if the game goes on long enough. So like yeah. And you can just keep buffing those fractals. Wow. I don't know. When I first looked at this card, I was like, that's not that good. It's a playable but okay card. Now I think it's good. It's not like great. I'm not it might be great. It's definitely not a bomb. Um, Burying books is one of my few ways of like dealing with creatures. I was really hoping that I could use Square Up just because with these fractals, but um, mm, but I just don't see it. Ooh, I just don't see it, right? Like everything else is pretty good. They have reasons for being here. They're important. Yeah, I think that's it. I think this is the deck. Totally not Simic, everyone. Okay, let's check our mana base. So we're 9-8. Should I go 10-7? The reason to go 10-7 is that a good chunk of my fixing is in green with Emergent Sequence and Field Trip, and even finding more lands with Kian. But like, if I don't have that blue for say Zavone or Eureka Moment or the Cultivator, those are other ways of getting more lands. Yeah, one of the things I'm going to say is I don't think Leyline Invocation is good. I think it might be okay. Might even be like a D+. But I'm keeping it in here because I have 2 Biomathematicians. And I have all this ramping stuff for lands and things. Okay. Ramp calculus. Is that how you spell calculus? Oh gosh. It's been so long. Yes, it is. Okay. It just looked wrong when I typed it out. I could just do ramp calculations, but I think this is good. I think Ramp Calculus is a fine name. Um, yeah, the mana base, I have no idea. Tried a Quandrix Campus. Like, this is what I wanted. I wanted a Quandrix Campus. That would have been nice. I think this is just a go. I think this will be fine. I think there's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I want 10, 7. Hmm. I guess I'll try 10, 7. And we'll see. I have no idea. I should probably at some point read articles. One of the articles that probably millions of people have written about how to do mana bases in limited. Alright, this is a keep. Does this show up? Yeah, it does. Look, I was watching Scotty Nada. See? Alright. Ageless Guardian. Sure, sure. So I could put out my Kelpie guide, or I can play Frost Trickster or Biomathematician. I think I just ramp, right? That's what you default into when you don't know. You just default into ramp stuff. Oh gosh, Kelpie guide can even guide the Dean Kian into getting more cards, or yeah, to tapping again. Oh, green as well, huh? Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to play my cultivator. Forest or island? Do I want forest? Let me select the forest. Well, I'm playing right into a removal, but you know, whatever. Or right into board wipe. If you're not gonna do anything, discard 2 cards. Okay. Well, I guess it's just these 2. So he still has stuff up. I'm going to kind of respect a combat trick. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I am going to attack with all of this. Okay. Destroy all non-dragon creatures. There it is. Okay. This is even mythic. There are a few ramps and stuff. Sure. So 1-1. Will it survive? Maybe. I don't know. It's probably going to be a Rise of X this year. I mean, it's a common card, so. Do you get a gain 3 life and draw a card? I mean, what was I gonna do? Not play it? Mascot Exhibition. Well, luckily I have Barry and Books. Put that card into the battlefield tapped. What is my sideboard? Pest summoning. I can still play Needlethorn Drake. See, the big thing about this is that there's a 4/4, otherwise it's a 2/1 and a 3/2. I feel like they still have removal based off of how little creatures they've played. So I think I'll just, and I don't want to keep drawing cards because I'm at 17. Told you they had more removal. So they have a green forest here. What were they splashing for? Is this a fractal? It is a fractal. It's gonna bury their thing in books. Goodbye. Okay. Simone is pretty good. Okay. Doesn't really seem to have enough creatures. You're gonna give it flying? Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a clock, yeah. So I would love to play Kian here, but I do need someone to block flyers. And no attacks, of course. Goodbye, 3/2. So I could block with Ibrahim now. How do I come back from this? Like I said, I don't have removal. I have draw. Just gonna block here, chump block. See, what's this? That guy's just a 2/2 and draws me a card. Let's attack here. Okay, and then yeah, I'm just gonna put him out. I didn't want to draw more cards because I don't have any way of actually dealing with him. Sure. So he's gonna have to sacrifice his Stone-Rise Spirit. And now if he wants to be attacking, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I can't believe I drew a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I'm definitely decking first. Okay. So I have 2 blockers, I'm fairly confident. And then it gives me life to 4. Okay. I basically have 5 turns to kind of win. So much life gain. Let's see, I swing in, he takes 2, swing in again, he takes another 2. Sure. I just have to keep swinging in here. That was an interesting block. Does he not realize that Zimone is no longer useful to me? Like, I'm gonna run out of cards here. Yeah, he just killed himself by not blocking the Emeritus. I think my opponent got a little bit legendary focused. Like, they saw all the cards Zimone was drawing for me, and then it was like, oh, I should kill her, right? It's like, well, she's not good anymore. I have field trip, so I can actually keep this hand. Oh, no, 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 no. Field trip only searches for freaking forests. And I don't have environmental sciences in my sideboard. Okay. Pledge Mage, anyone? No, no blocks. That's not good. Let's get Introduction to Prophecy. So I have 5 mana. I could play Intro to Prophecy, or I could play Kian. And I think I just play Kian here. Oh, here's a blue. So what have I got here? So this guy can get me... It doesn't even come into play tapped. So we're going to get an island. And then, let's see. There's not much I can do against Quintorius. I don't really need to tap him though, although I also don't want to play Biomathematician yet until I've done a lot of stuff with Kian. I could do Prophecy. I guess if Quintorius is attacking, who's blocking him? It says whenever things get exiled, things happen. What am I looking for? I kind of just want Kian to live so I can start making fractals with her. Let's do Introduction to Prophecy. And then I can scry 2. I'm going to draw one of these cards. So I can get rid of the Reject with Kian while I draw this Archmage. Okay. Now I don't want to get rid of what I have on top if Kian doesn't live, for example. And Kian is slow. Okay. Five, six, seven. Sweet. Should be hard for them to take. They don't have a second. Nope, now they have a second white. Oh, good. For a second there, I was going to be like, they need a second white for. They would need like a second white for the exile spell. So let's see. I'm at 13. I really don't care. I have the blockers. So they want to take this 7. They totally can. So I have 7 mana. Let's play the Professor of Zoomancy. Let's see if I can draw a land. Nope. What was it? Sure. Whatever. So I did not draw a land. Okay. I'll play Frost Trickster. And just tap that. So they don't have anything. I can make 2/2 fractals. They don't have anything that can block here. There's no reach. So this is 9 damage. Okay. All right. Worked out. Kian was just drawing me lands. All right, so now I see why Kian's not like a great card. It's because you have to exile those things. It takes time. Oh yeah, this is a keep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Silver Quill. I want another forest. No, they didn't play anything on 3 either. So let's see. I only have 1 spell in hand. I'm not looking to bury any of that, so I think I can just take my time and keep pulling lands out of my deck. I'll certainly take that action, pull out another forest. My sound suddenly turned off? It looks like I'm still registering. Okay. Nope, the music just cut off when it won. So that's a death touch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. I can play Kelpie Guide and Frost Trickster. Oh, Combat Professor, that's pretty darn good. I'm just gonna say no blocks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is enough to, say, bury something. But I kind of want to use this forest to block the Spiteful Squad. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. It does set me back on Kelpie Guide, but I think I want to try and get them to accumulate all of their counters onto something, and then bury it in books. Let's see, I have 4 mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Resolve that. Oh well. So they learned Inkling Summoning. Sure. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 now. Okay, so they have some sort of combat trick, I'm guessing. Just gonna take Introduction to Prophecy. Gonna tap that. What's the trick? Okay. She's a bit late, but I can always use the bird side of her for attacking. And discard spells would kill her anyway. Because it's discard 2? I forget. I should really remember that. So they have 4 blockers to my 4 attackers. I can tap whatever the combat professor chooses. Or I can just tap the flyers. So they have to block Abraham, or they just die. Reject is I can kill both of them, and then they're both on the combat professor, so I mean, sure, why not? Yep, alright, Kelpie Guide wins the day. That was a good game. My opponent had a lot of tough decisions. Yep, that was a good game. Fulgyrian, or however you want to pronounce that. This looks like a keep. Yeah, it's a keep. I can put the Reckless Amplimancer out first, or the Needlethorn Drake. I think if I want to trigger some early removal, I just keep the Needlethorn Drake back. I think it's a bit more valuable. I don't want to like hold up Reject on the because there's a chance they might not have anything to play with turn 2. Yeah, let's attack. See if they block. Okay. Like the Scourge, I think the Scourge Colony is better than the Amplimancer because the Scourge Colony becomes a 4/4 without you having to invest mana in it, and the Amplimancer you have to continue pumping it. It's like it's Quandrix v Quandrix here, though. We're having some issues within the college. Apparently, we can't decide who's the better mathematician. is pretty darn hilarious. Do I keep trading stuff off? I think I will. Okay. Looks like neither of us have tricks. Let's get an island. Okay. All right. Probably reject whatever. See, because if they want to trade off the 1/1 for my 1/1 instead of some in the future chump blocking the bookworm, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I think I attack with the Needlethorn Drake. Oh no, this is the thing that whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, you may copy that spell. Okay. And I'm 1 away from casting this bookworm with the help of Kelpie Guide, so I don't really want to lose it here. 4. Oh yeah, that was a big oops. Oops. Oh well. That was a big oops. Big oops. Several all around everyone. Big oops. Big oops. Okay. I don't know if that was an oops from them as well or what. I don't know if we just did 2 different oops. So they're not quite at 8 yet. Or if they think they just need to work through my Death Touchers. Okay. I think I want the flyer here. Actually, they have that reach creature. Let's see if they trade the squirrel or not. So they don't. They are look like they are fairly confident that they are going to get that extra land, and suddenly kick off that Scurrid Colony to be a 4/4, which is, yeah. Kian is a bit late to start here, I think. I think she's better in the early game. I think I'm going to go with Ibrahim. So that maybe I can find my own lands. X equals 3. It's interesting that they're keeping up 1. Or 2, I guess. Hmm. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could do Ibrahim. Could attack with this Frost Trickster. Let's attack with just the Frost Trickster. Okay. That's not good for them. It's still not at 8? 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Okay. They have no cards in hand. They're not at 8, so. This guy do anything? No. So let's kill. Let's see. This is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your library third from the top. I think, no, I had to pay a, no, I did not have to, well, okay. Yeah. I did not have to pay a blue. I could have actually have done that better for Ibrahim. And paid 2 with Ibrahim after untapping him. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know, I don't think sounds are going through for OBS, but like, certain sounds are just cutting out. Alright, that was good. Yeah, let's keep going. I thought my opponent was at 7 mana already, but no, they were at 6. Yeah, so I am. It's funny how you have to play with a card in order before you really understand it. Like, I think the, yeah, yeah. So Dean Kian is. Oh, they got the new Zamone. I wonder if they're Zamone Avatar. I wonder if they are indeed. Oh yeah, this is a mulligan. All right, this is a keep. I will put back. Let's see. Emergence sequence is good. Reckless Implements are good. Eureka Moment can unmulligan me, kind of. So I think this is the play. I wonder if they have the if they're playing a Quandrix deck because there's a Moan. What's their book? Also Silver Quill. All right. Let's go Forest, into Emergent Sequence, into Eureka Moment. Do I want Zimone? No. If I had a bunch of lands, I'd want Zimone. Let's see. I'll take the island. You gonna counterspell this? Okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good for you, yeah. Oh, cultivate. Who's the real ramp? Look, I have your avatar. Oh, field trip. Gosh, they're ramping so hard. And then into an environmental sciences? What? Okay, looks like they're not splashing for anything, though. So I do want to draw a card with Zimone. If I... It's 4 mana draw card? Yes. I can't draw and reject, so I think I just attack with both of these. And then turn. Yeah, nice. Mentor's Guidance is a good spell in this format. Okay, let's attack. And it's another end turn. Yeah. They didn't take the bait. Why wouldn't they block into my open mana? Okay. Eject. It's definitely the best answer to Bookworm. Okay. Let's see. This guy is gonna come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get a forest. So there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. 8 lands. So Zimone's draw 2 is now in effect. Arcane Subtraction helps protect Zimone against like fight spells. Okay. Can't do anything against the Frost Trickster though. Like I won the Bookworm. That was great, but gosh. So now the question is if they have their own stuff. Let's see. So the Reckless Amplimancer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh gosh, they can pump twice. Arcane Subtraction is only minus 4. So I'm going to attack with my own Amplimancer, see if he gets through. I can attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's not the end all or be all. Let's activate the ability. Okay. And then, oh, okay. So they didn't, okay, I don't have the mana to do that, but so their Reckless Amplimancer can attack me for 8. There's not much I can do against him. Let's see, 8 damage is fine, no blocks. If they want to spend all their mana pumping him, I am completely fine with that. Oh yeah. Yeah. The Needle Thorn Drake. So this leaves me with no mana to do anything. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then -4, -0. They'd be able to kill 2 things, potentially. Worst case. Then Abraham. Okay. Okay. Okay, so they don't seem to have a way of dealing with... Okay, so this is 2 mana. And I know I'm getting the Amplimancer. 3, 4. X equals 1. Full hand, everybody. So they do have exactly Counterspell, Magic Up. So the big question here is, what do I have in my sideboard? I have 18 cards left. I'm still okay there. I have the Mercurial Transformations. I have Prophecy. I have Expanded Anatomy. Pest Summoning. Do I think that they have anything? Well, let's try and put down Reckless Amplimancer first. There was no pause. Okay, cool. I'm at 11 now. I'm not going to attack. I have this combat trick and arcane subtraction, and my bookworm was able to get on the board. So they're keeping up their mana for their Reckless Amplimancer. I have 5, 10 mana. I have this. I'm not really sure that. What would this be? I'm going to attack with the Dean and my Reckless Amplimancer. Theirs goes up to an 8/8, whereas the worm just stays around as a 7/7. So I'm not going to attack with the bookworm because of that. I need them to be in a position where they can't double pump their own Amplimancer. Okay. I'll pump him once. Say next. Okay. And then I still have, I could do Field Trip and Learn. I could then get the thing that gives my bookworm +2/+2. Tap, then shuffle. Okay, and that's it. Oh, one top. Nice. Another land. It's +5/+5. Nice. Yeah, I figured I'd have to take 2 damage. No, the Needlethorn Drake's better off blocking like the Amplimancer and other stuff. Yes? Oh, they must have accidentally put a stop on my turn when they're doing upkeep stops. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana? Is that right? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, so... Oh, okay. Okay, so they're double blocking this one. Yeah, I do want to kill the 8/8. So that is 8, 9, 10, 11 damage, -4. Let's pump you. And then... Yeah, I was going to get a Mercurial Transformation and also kill the Quandrix Cultivator. But yeah, wow, that was another good game, I think. Man, how much do you think it hurt him when I rejected his bookworm from the academy? Like, come on, man, this is a bookworm. This isn't a student. How dare you? Now, now this kid, his name is Book Warm. Yeah, Book Warm. Totally not a worm. And I'm enrolling him in my side of the Quantrix campus, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, gosh, the crushing. Okay. I mean, the feelings. If that was me, my feelings would have been crushed. Although on the other hand, it was just like a card for a card. At the same time, it was like a really not great card for like one of the best cards. Wow, this curve has really, really worked itself in quite well. Oh, do I play Zamone or do I keep on form with the biomath? I think I keep on form with the biomathematician. Oh, it looks like we're doing stops. Maybe no. Okay, first strike's real bad for me. I don't have any spells, non-creature spells in hand, so I'm going to put down the Zoomancy. This way they can't attack unless unless they cast a spell. If they attack, I'm not blocking, obviously. Combat Professor. So I can trade my Professor of Zoomancy for this thing. They're all tapped out, so this block is relatively safe. The other ways, if I didn't block with Professor of Zoomancy, I wouldn't be able to kill it. So, yeah, I think I trade this. Okay, so that thing gets vigilance. So attacking with uh, my Needlethorn Drake doesn't make much sense to trade 1 for 3 all the time. So I'm just going to play my Kelpie Guide, and we're going to play Zimone. This one combat professor keeping back an army of 1/1s. Ah, well, that's probably why they attacked with it then. Okay, so I could play Field Trip, but it seems like a waste not to use the Archmage here. The other problem that we're going to run into here is their Pillar Drop Rescuer is going to be able to attack, and it's a less desirable thing, but I might have to block with it. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put this guy down. Kelpie gives me access to 2 mana, but that's it. I think I just pass here and see if they do the whole attack with the Rescuer. They probably will. Oh, they're doing it with what? Okay. What's your trick, I guess? Okay. Ah, first strike. Cool, cool. I mean, that was always going to get my Needlethorn Drake. see, 1, 2, 4, 5. So I need something to deal with these flyers. None of these deal with the flyers, by the way. Let's have the Emeritus do some work here, huh? Burying books delays. I have my own flyer and another Needlethorn Drake and a Frost Trickster. I think I'll take this Burying books. I can't untap anything for 1. My attacks are garbage. I guess I could have kept the emergent sequence and used it to make a 3/3 with Quandrix Cultivator. Seems real dumb though. Yep. This combat professor, huh? I'm just gonna go like no blocks for now. Yeah. A Kelpie guy can start tapping things down on the next turn. Maybe if they don't kill it. So who are they targeting? Okay. Introduction to Annihilation. No tax. End turn. I could draw another card right now. One. Well, that sucks for me, huh? 4, 7. Okay. So they can only kill one or the other. I'm taking 7 in the air. This is correct, yeah. 4 kills that one. Yeah. . Bookworm's a card. I need Kelpie Guy to start tapping down their flyer. If I attack, they just die. So I just start tapping whoever. I guess they could get back Introduction to Annihilation, huh? Okay, I just have to attack with these things, pretty much all the things. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, I still have, yeah. Okay. Taurus is pretty good. I'm pretty much just tapping whoever gets Vigilance. They have one card in hand, so it's not like it can be a removal and a pump spell. So I'm always blocking with Frost Trickster on this Pillar Drop Rescuer. So now I have to see if I have some kind of lethal. They're at 9, they have one card in hand. Quintorius is a pretty good blocker for lots of things. I think I played a land. I could just play it safe, and I might just play it safe. Let's see. So those two are alone are lethal and they demand blocks. They have one card in hand, which I'm a bit concerned about. What is their last card in hand? I think I just play it safe here. I don't think there's a way that I can really lose. Not with Amplimancer coming up. Okay. I just need to make sure I don't deck myself. I might be decking myself. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, I probably shouldn't have played that, but whatever. Case of board removal. Board white. Oh, they have Hoffrey. See, their spirits all have trample now. Wow, did I lose? Let's see. Does this guy have summoning sickness? No, he has haste. What? Let's see, the 3 in the air I don't care about. Let's see, so... Is it better to untap my worm, or is it better to tap the 5/3 trampler? How much land do I have? Wow, I lost. Pretty sure I lost here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 worth of toughness, and they have 8. Oh no, they're just barely... Yeah, okay. I think they just lost. They need to have put that on something else. Let's see. So... Doesn't really matter, this way it kills it. So, this block... No, wait. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're blocked by 1, 1. So I take 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He needed to put that on the trample. I did not lose. But yeah, Hoffrey Ghost Forge coming in hot. I gotta put a pause in here. I gotta. But yeah, I was like, that turn, I was like, the turn before, I was like, there's no way I could lose from here, so I might as well not go all in, so I don't have to do the math. Although thinking about it now, I obviously should have done the math, right? They only had 2 mana, 1 card in hand, but I was thinking, like, what's the worst they could play? It's like, turns out the worst they could play is freaking Hoffrey Ghost Forge, the dwarf, the man, the legend. He is definitely one of the bombs of this format. Yep. And I think, yeah, I think I definitely had lethal. Like, if I knew all of the 2 mana spells in red and white that he could have possibly have cast, I could have been like, oh yeah, I totally have lethal here. Because I was afraid, because it's like on the backswing, it looked like he could have gotten potentially lethal if I swung all out, for example. This hand is keepable. Hopefully I'll draw into a 2 mana thing I want to play on turn 2. Looks like my opponent has sadly mulliganed once. Oh yeah, book, dust yourself off. Yeah, get rid of all those little magic sparkles. Uh-huh. I was looking at the rewards and I was surprised to see that every single house you get, there's 5 avatars through the mastery tree. I think that's really cool. All right, well, deck, you know what? I think I just play this and just start whatever. Get a board presence. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. Interesting deck he has here. Let's ramp up. Get a forest. So I don't want to attack because I attack, they attack back for 3. So whenever something dies, oh my gosh. On target creature you control. Oh my gosh. Somebody save me. I've lost already. This is the... Speaking of bombs, this is another one. Let's make a 6/6. Uh, I I do attack, if only to just limit them on what they can do to me. Red now. Okay. I wonder which color's the splash. All flying all the time. So like the longer I wait to block with this Frost Trickster, the more damage it will block for. Cool, so we've got a trick in play here. No? That was okay. Play our Emeritus. Play our Amplimancer. The Emeritus gets killed. He flunked. That Emeritus is an imposter. He flunked out of Strixhaven. He got to the last year and then dropped out. That's no Archmage Emeritus. All right, yeah, sure. Makes sense. I mean, you can attack with it. So that's 3 damage? No. So this is 10. This comes into play tapped. 7 mana. I don't have enough to cast Field Trip and Amplimancer. Okay. He can block Stonerise Spirit on the Amplimancer and force me to use 5 mana. I would not be too happy with that, but that's a possibility. So he uses a 2/2. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. Okay. And then... No. I can summon some pests, or... Mercurial Transformation's no good here. And next turn I have enough mana to play the Bookworm, so I think it's just Introduction to Prophecy. I cast it. I don't really want either of those cards. This is 6 damage coming at me. I'm at 10, I'd go down to 4. I think this is now time to trade off my Frost Trickster. Okay, so I'm going to attack with this Amplimancer. 5, 6, 7, 8. I have the Neilthorn Drake. Also have the Bookworm to play. Okay. So then I'd get attacked for 6, but no, I'd get attacked for 8. So I would die, so I do have to do this. I don't know which is more secure. I bet playing the Bookworm is more secure, but I also didn't want to let it live. Okay, so now they have to have removal. Removal? Pump spell? Probably gonna have 2/4/4s. Or maybe they'll force me to block the Stonerise Spirit. Take 4 damage. So these blocks are forced. Okay, we're both at 3. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I beat Sparring Regimen. Wowzers. Alright, cool. Wow. 7 and oh, dang. I didn't think that this deck was that good. I wonder how much of this was, but all those matches felt good and solid. So I don't, gosh, I didn't lose a single game. What the heck? I was in some very tight positions. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I think we saw all of these cards do stuff. I think Quandrix Pledge Mage was the only underperformer of the whole freaking deck. I think the only time it came out, it blocked like a 5/3, and that was then it left. Yeah, that was good. All right, mastery. Oh wait, cancel. I want to have to claim my 6 packs, please. I guess I have to put them in Quandrix, right? Even though I kind of want to use the Quintorius avatar. I mean, I have to pay my dues to Quandrix here. All right, and then what kind of daily deals do we have? Nothing good. All right, packs 9, 1 short of 10. I think 10. Is it 10 where it slides over? Yesterday, these weren't showing whether they were new or first or anything like that. It looks like that's still not happening. I kind of miss those tags. It really shows how... There's a Bookworm. Thank you, Bookworm, for being amazing. So I think I did end up getting a really good deck there. I will say I think 2 or 3 of my opponents did mulligan down to 6. But I think for the most part, all the games were very good games. With a lot of back and forth. You know, when you go into Magic, you don't always like, oh, there's Kian the Dean. You don't always, what the heck, why do you have these little bumps on the sides of your, got little love handles? Oh, because you're a Mystic Archive card. I hope that doesn't show up, like, no, that wouldn't show up in the deck, in the actual client. But, what was I saying? Before I got distracted by love handles? I don't even remember. The new and first is missing, right? Yeah, which I don't like. Because I can't be like, oh yeah, look at all these new cards I get. Because it's like suddenly my collection just goes, just turns into the normal order, right? Lots of things. I guess I can see what the mythics and rares I have collected are. So I have 3 Emerituses. Cool, cool. Oh yeah, I got to see this guy. Creature you control. It's a copy of it until end of turn. Until end of turn. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's really good. If you had a, oh gosh, that guy I played had this and Bookworm. I wonder if they're able to. I wonder if they've pulled off that combo in their deck or not. That would have been an amazing combo. Fervent Mastery is completely terrible. It's like pay 4. And then the opponent gets to discard a number of cards and draw that many cards. Meanwhile, you get to search your library for 3 cards, put them into your hand, and then discard 3 cards at frickin' random. Like, statistically, there's a chance you could even discard the cards you just searched for in your freaking library. You're paying 4 or 5 mana for nothing. How is this so bad? It should be discard 2. Oh man, that's terrible. Yeah, very good deck. Very, very good deck. All right, that's it.